Greetings Cornerinos and welcome to this week's episode of Ian's VR Corner, which is a little bit different to normal because today I'm checking out a piece of hardware, namely this. Oh, it's shiny. The Pico 4. Now, before I kick off this video properly, I should state that this is more of a first impressions video than a proper in-depth review. I haven't been able to spend a huge amount of time with the Pico 4 yet because I've been so busy. But today you will get to learn a little bit more about the kit, what it does, how it compares to the Quest 2, and you'll get to see me try out a few games as well. Now, behind me you can see one of the 3 virtual environments that you can use in the Pico 4's headset. That is your home base, and this is where you're going to be able to go to browse the stores, download games, check out your files, and even launch apps that let you watch 3D movies. But before I put this on my beautiful head for a comfort test, let me first cut to a previously recorded unboxing video. This is the package the Pico 4 will come in if you decide to purchase one yourself. Look, I can see my face in it. It's not that big and it's very nicely designed. On the back, a selection of some of the games that you can download. There's not too much else to see here, so let's tear into package like. Oh, it's... I should have brought a knife. Come on. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't even bite it off. Oh yeah, here we go. There we go. Alright, plastic sheath off. Now how are we opening this? Is it a slidey one? I think it's, oh, it's a slidey. The moment of truth. Ooh, that's a well-constructed box. There is the Pico 4. We've got the controllers. They seem quite nice though. First impressions of picking this up. The buttons maybe not as durable feeling as the Quest, but fits in my hand really nicely. So we've got the Pico here. With this one, the battery is in the back rather than the front, so it should balance out a lot. Also inside the box, we have this little area here. Oh, there we go, look at this. What marvellous box mechanics they have given us. This weird flaccid flap is an extra nose flap. This, I believe, is a spacer for all you glasses wearers out there. We've also got a plug in here. We've got a charging cable, USB-C charging cable, and lovely safety straps. Oh, now hold on a minute. Is this going to sound really satisfying to pull off? And look at that again, bask in my gorgeous reflection, Viewingtons, because that is the front of the Pico. Probably going to get quite fingerprinty, especially with my greasy mitts. We got the cameras around the outside for the tracking, and I believe this here, this camera in the middle here, is for the full color pass-through that we'll be checking out later once I've charged this headset up. Presuming that's the microphone. And talking about the microphone, I believe the speakers are built into the straps, so potentially here. There's no headphone jack actually, so I'm guessing if you want to use headphones, like normal headphones, you're going to need a USB-C headphone adapter. We've also got to pull off these eye bits so we can see the lovely flat lenses. Me again, I'm upside down this time. Hey Al. As you can see, we've got a bit of Velcro up the top here, so you turn the dial as much as you can to get it tight with your head, and then you pull that down to tighten it at the top, so it's not elasticated like a PlayStation VR would be. I have already fingerprinted it up. Told you I had greasy mitts. Okay, I've got this thing on and charging. It actually comes with half full battery, but I figured I'll charge it to the fullest before I give it a go. So I thought while I'm waiting for it to charge, I'll let you know a few of the observations I've made whilst doing initial setup stuff. First up, I was really impressed by just how easy it is to remove the comfort guard here and place the nose flap on the light blocking nose flaps. So whoopsie, that's me broken that already. So yeah, if you're wanting to place in the glasses spacer or put in this nose flap, it literally just kind of like pulls off nice and easy, slots in again, clips into place, seems quite sturdy. It's almost, I don't know how they hold it in, it almost feels like it's held in via magnetism, but it's nice and snug and tight when it's on. What I wasn't too impressed with though was the length of the charging cable. It is like a meter. And I just want to show off the controllers here. The controllers have this kind of wand thing for tracking over the top of it, slightly different to the way the Quest 2's comes round. The button placement is pretty similar. What I really like about these controllers though is they have an amazing mechanism for storing the batteries. This is way better than the Quest one. The Quest ones, if you've ever played the Quest and you get really into it, it's really easy to like get excited hands slipping the battery cover off. This is done in such a cool way. It's almost like loading ammo into a clip for a gun. So you pull this and it slots out, and then look at this. It's like a cartridge with batteries in. So that comes out nice and smooth. And then you just, once you've got new batteries in, you just plop it in, clicks in, and you're ready to go. Hello. On the left here, the Pico 4 has what are called pancake lenses. So they're basically flat lenses. Whereas if you are familiar with the Quest 2, it has these kind of like Fresnel lenses, they're called. They have like ridges inside them, and those ridges can actually lead to some graphical flaring, some halos around bright assets, which might hopefully be cancelled out on the Pico 4. And as you can see as well, the Pico 4 has much wider, much larger lenses. So that should mean that you get a much better field of view on the Pico 4 than you do on the Quest 2. I also prefer the comfort material on the Pico 4 at the moment. This is one of the replacement softeners that you get to put over the foam that was that was aggravating everyone's skin. But still, the plastic makes you a bit sweaty. This feels like they might be a bit more breathable on the skin, although is that going to absorb sweat and become manky over time? I don't know. Look, they're kissing! They're going to have Pico Quest babies. Wow, how incredibly professionally unboxed that was. Well done, me. Now it's time to place the headset on my head. Now, the headset can be put on nice and tightly thanks to this dial on the back here. It sits quite comfortably on the face. What I did notice, and I'm not noticing now, but it's very important to point out, I think, is that if I spin around, the cushioning of the visor doesn't really close around by my head. And when I was playing this earlier with my windows open, I was getting a huge amount of light coming through the sides here, which was shining up on my screen. With the curtains drawn and no external light sources, it's not noticeable. But in bright rooms, if you've got a bit of a thin head, you might get a lot of light leakage. Now, what I've just done is I've just activated screen recording. So you're now going to be able to see what I can see inside the Pico 4 headset. The menus of the Pico 4 are very similar to something you'd find in the Quest 2. You have an explore screen that gives you, a good roundup of what's going on in the world of Pico. At this point in time, you've got a store where you can buy all your games. You can check out your friends. I don't got none. Come on. You've got your file manager here where you can install APKs from SideQuest if you want. There's a network thing here for sorting out your Wi-Fi's, and you've got your library here for checking out all of your apps. I've already downloaded a couple to test out, but if I go back to the store here and just check out the games on offer, I do want to point out that the menus scroll really choppily in this. I don't know why. I hope it comes up in the video, but the menus are not scrolling smoothly for me. They seem very jerky. It's not enough to like ruin the experience completely, but it's super noticeable. Thanks to Pico, who sent me this headset, I also have a whitelisted account. So most of these games available on the headset are free for me to download, which is nice. So let me quickly show you how to download one of those games. Let's download Cosmo Dread. You literally click on it, just like the Quest 2 store. You get a video to watch, you get screenshots, and then you just click up there to download. In terms of play space setup, again, this is pretty much just like the Oculus Quest, except for one big difference. And that, my friends, is the colour, the full colour pass-through. What I'm doing here is I'm sat on a chair, I've got my beautiful legs out, and I'm currently inside my office. If you've ever wondered what Ian's VR corner looks like, it looks like this. It's more of an oblong than anything. As you can see, things are in colour. There's a yellow. There's lots of colour here on the pictures on my wall, and obviously there's a green screen behind me. So this is the only VR headset on the market at the moment that does full colour pass-through. It still has a bit of a fisheye effect, especially when objects are getting closer to the headset-mounted cameras, but in general it makes looking at the outside world way better and way easier than it does in any other black and white pass-through headset. Look, there's me. Hello, me. So in terms of boundaries, at the moment I have a stationary boundary because I am sat down. It is possible, of course, to redraw a boundary. Once my floor level is down, then I can just draw around me. Again, just like how you do it with the Quest. With that play space set, it is time for me to try out a VR game on the Pico 4. Let's start with Townscaper VR because currently I am sat down. I'll head out into the garden in a bit and do some full scale VR in a bit. But for now, let's just see how things look. Now, one thing I noticed in the unboxing of the Pico 4 is that the Pico 4 doesn't have any headphone jacks at all. So all the sound is coming out of the speakers here. And so far, Townscaper doesn't have much audio. Okay, I can hear it. These controllers are moving really choppily at the moment. I don't know whether there's poor performance on this app or what, but they're really stuttery. The frame rate on the Pico is, I think, 90 hertz, maximum of 90 hertz, compared to the frame rate of the Oculus Quest, which is maximum 120 hertz. I mean, this is a nice little kind of toy box, this game. It's quite meditative to do, but performance-wise, it does seem a bit rough, you know? Now, I think this happens on the Quest 2 as well, but there's a neat feature you can turn on here that lets you double tap the headset, there we go, to bring the pass-through mode into full view instantly. And that's going to allow me to lean in here and check out the website of the excellent Upload VR to try and show you some of the technical stats of the headsets. So in terms of visor weight, the Pico 4 is a lot lighter than the Quest 2's headset, but in total, what it doesn't say in this is in total, the Quest 2 actually weighs a little bit more. That's because the battery's on the back as well. That hasn't been counted here. The good thing about having the battery on the back of the headset is that it creates a balancing point. The Quest 2 headset often drags my face down because it's so front heavy, but here it just sits on my head a lot better. I feel like I've got more freedom of movement without wobbling the headset free, which is nice. Display wise, we've got higher resolution on the Pico 4, lower frame rates though, pancake lens, Fresnel lens, the field of view slightly bigger on the Pico 4, and price wise, this is in euros, but price wise the Pico 4 is going to come in a little bit cheaper than the Quest 2. So if you're on a bit of a budget, do keep that in mind. Alright, Townscaper VR is quite nice, but really I don't feel like it's running too well. So I'm going to exit out of this and I'm going to try a different game. We're going to give Alvo a go. Alvo's a game that I really enjoyed on the PlayStation VR. So let's see how it holds up on the Pico 4 headset. Quite a lengthy loading time so far.
Welcome to Alvo.
Alvo? Oh, I've been calling it Alvo. Whoops.
Now, let's get you started.
Oh. Get me started then. I've been sat here for bloody ages. I don't know if it's crashed or not. Fucking hell. Mate. This fucking thing is still loading. I think it's fucked. Alright, fuck you, Alvo. Let's try a different game. This is not excellent so far. Alright, Blade and Sorcery. Here we go, something's happening. I've never played the standalone version of Blade and Sorcery, so this is going to be an adventure. One that will make me pretty sweaty, I'd imagine. Or not, because this also has an incredibly long load time. Oh, shit, son, something's happening! Virtual reality, baby! You alright, mate? It's because I'm sat down, it's turned me into a tiny child. Alright, this looks familiar. If not a little bit taller than I remember, because I'm a short ass now. Look, I can twizzle these things. Actually, there's some feedback. Some haptic feedback in the controller there. When I let go of that and spin, it kind of vibrates. Yeah, we can move through this environment quite nicely. A little bit of stutter here and there. The controller seems to be tracked when I swing my sword behind my head as well. Nice, nice. It's got all the physics you'd expect from the PC version. Does it have... Yeah, there's my reflection. Not as clear a reflection as on the PC version, but still pretty good. Look at me, I'm an angry child. Rah! Okay, here we go. Gladiators, ready. Okay, I've already took a hit. Movement on the swords feels laggier than the PlayStation, the PC version. But that was an excellent decapitation. Madam, I'm going to try and stab you. Ooh, I missed. Ooh, thanks for waiting patiently. Ah! Yeah, there is definite lag in the controls here. This sort of game, I feel, needs a powerful PC running behind it to make the most of its incredible physics engine. But you do get a bit of the vibe of Blade and Sorcery with this. Oh, got you right in the guts. Hook, scissors! Whoa, head off, I think. Come at me, bro! Not like that, though. Good sidestep through the shoulder. Huh. I mean, this is still pretty fun, if you don't mind a slightly choppy frame rate. You can have a good stab 'em up, and this game definitely works up a sweat on the harder difficulty levels. So that was a look at the Pico 4, playing a couple of games in stationary VR. Let's take this thing outside and see how it handles in a bigger play space. So I was on my way to the garden, and I've just had to stop on my stairs because, as you can see, the Pico 4's beautiful full color pass-through mode does not work very well in low light situations at all. What was once sharp and colorful is now blurry and a smudge of gray. I can't even see the stairs there, so getting to my garden is going to be pretty dangerous. Maybe I should take the headset off to do that, but I thought I'd use this as a good opportunity to also show you the quality of the in-headset mic. This recording that you are hearing right now is my voice being recorded through the headset. Anyway, I'm going to take this off to get to the garden because I don't want to... VR's lovely and everything, but it's not worth breaking my legs for. All right, considering there's a black cat here on a white blanket, this isn't the best example of the colors available. There's a yellow tiger though, but here you go. There's some passthrough kitty catty. Hi Titchy, you good catty. Ah, she's a good catty. Look at that beautiful catty face. You good girl? You good Titchy? You are, aren't you? It's not a very nice day outside, so she's come in to have a little snuggle on the blanket. You good kitty. There we go. I was trying to get my camera to record while in pass-through mode, and the fisheyiness makes getting up close and personal to things really wobbly and a little bit scary. One of the things that the initial setup of the Pico tells you to do is not use this in direct sunlight because it can ruin the lens. I'm living in the UK, so we don't really get direct sunlight, and instead we get shitty rain all the time. There was nothing in the initial setup that said keep the Pico headset out of the rain, but I don't want to get too wet, so I'm going to try this test as quick as possible. So first of all, I need to create my custom boundary, which can be pretty large, because my garden's quite sizable, but actually my garden is big enough. I can almost get the full space done. I need to redraw this. Let's start here. Redraw it this way. It's quite a big play area that I can use here. It's a shame I can't get my streaming equipment out here. There we go. So now we have a nice big full-scale world, and also you can see that full colour pass-through really well now, with the greens of the trees and the oranges of the leaves and the reds of the bricks. This is it's really nice through here. I'm going to enter the VR world though and have a wander around my personal space. As I get close to the edges, safety walls come up. I don't know if they're going to be shown in the footage that you can see, but I can see a safety wall just here, which means I'm not going to fall off the edge of my garden or go walking into a bush, hopefully. 11 table tennis. This is one of the most popular games on the store now, allegedly. But, okay. Well, I'm crap at table tennis. Yeah, I'm crap at table tennis. Okay, this is not making me move around as much as I was hoping for. Can I run around and smack the other player in the face with my bat? Boom! Yes, I can. Sucks to be you, buddy. Let's try a different game. This is whack. Here we go, contractors. Okay. Got a full body, got a gun. Let's continue A. Choose your region. Oh, fuck. So, here we are in the world of contractors. I can wander around in my safe area pretty nicely. Bit stuttery, I guess, but I've got full body movement. So in terms of full-scale VR, I haven't really picked any good ones. I need that Space Pirate Trainer Laser Quest style one, really. And A or X on the dominant hand. Oh. Shoot some guns. B or Y to eject the clip and reload. Pretty standard stuff. Looks quite nice. Through the Pico 4's headset again. Whoa! Wow, now that is one hell of an out-of-body experience. I'm coming inside, it's too wet. Alright friends, I am back and slightly more soggy than I was before, but you know, let's go back into the virtual world and give my final first impressions. In terms of a piece of kit, it's really nice. The comfort factor's there. A little bit worried about the light bleeding from the side here, but apart from that, it's okay. The microphone quality's not perfect, not as good as the Quest 2. I'm mostly worried though about the performance issues I've had. Not only does the store kind of chug along a bit, so do the games. I played some pretty graphically intensive games, but I also played Townscaper, which, you know, is just little, and even then there was still a lot of frame rate issues and chugging going on. Maybe I'm noticing them more because I've played a lot of PC VR recently and that looks nice and smooth all the time. But yeah, I don't know. Something about this, the gameplay of the games I've played so far, and I've only played about 5, seems to not be as smooth as that of the Quest. In terms of a low-cost, beginner-level entry to PC VR, the Pico 4 seems pretty amazing though. Wired into a PC, you're going to be able to do... Whoa! Okay, that's loud. How do I turn the bloody volume down on that? Is there a volume? Help!
Since time immemorial,
Oh, not time immemorial.
has maintained a...
I've sharded myself. Oh, turn the thing off. Fuck. Whee! Now, what was I saying? I can't rightly remember. The Quest 2 has a much bigger and better standalone library than this at the moment. But, I'm sure Pico 4 will build up that library nice and quickly as it goes. If you want a more smoother standalone VR experience, I'd probably say go for the Quest. But if you just want a cheap VR headset with better field of view and better lenses than the Quest 2 to play streamed PC VR games on, then you're not going to go wrong with the Pico 4 for definite. And maybe some of the games, maybe I just chose some badly optimized games to test. This one seems to be pretty smooth. I can't even remember what it's called though, but it's like a wee little spaceship game. So yeah, that was first impressions of the Pico 4 headset. Thanks to Pico for sending me it and giving me the whitelisted account so I can try out some of these games for you. It is on sale right now in Europe. It came out this week, and I think you can get it in Asia and in Australia as well. And I believe in the UK there are 2 models, a 128GB model and a 256GB model to choose from. So let me know what you think of the Pico 4 in the comments below. Will you buy it, or would you rather try it first? Would you prefer the Quest? Do you think that's best? Oh. What? I don't know what the fuck I was doing there. Let us know in the comments below. Do like and subscribe to Eurogamer for almost daily videos about video games and episodes of Ian's VR Corner every Sunday. And why not check out some of these other episodes of Ian's VR Corner? They're on screen right now while I continue rinsing the library, the store even, for VR games that I've never played before. Oh, Jupitergrad's pretty good. Oh, Smash Drums. Oh, I'd love to smash those drums. Wait, what was that game?